Hello and welcome everyone. This week the new Rattan Units have been introduced to Conqueror's Blade, and I wanted to give you a quick overview on what is waiting for you. As all units, the Rattan Units can be found in the unit tree, where they have their own section and can be unlocked through honor. In the chivalric era you can find the Rattan round shields on the top. Definitely not just a base short sword and shield unit. Worth mentioning at this point is their extremely high value of piercing defense, which is only slightly worse than the one of the Palace Guards, a T4 unit, and makes them heavily resistant to spear, pike and ranged units, but of course will not help you if you frontally charge into them. This unit's veterancy lines and stats allow it to specialize on two different things. With the top line you can acquire speed of up to 6.7, while the slowest cavalry, which are the monastic knights, only makes it to 6.5 as base speed. The top line also improves the charge ability by increasing the damage and reducing the cooldown. So if you skill on the top line, your unit may not only be a pretty decent hunter to chase after enemy ranged units, but due to the speed and charge damage give you the chance of flanking enemy infantry and being a nasty backstabbing threat on the battlefield. With the bottom line on the veterancy list, you can double down on the comparably tanky attributes of the unit, making it more resistant and viable to hold a specific point. While having its maximum movement speed increased, you get 4 extra soldiers. That's not bad either. I don't want to give a tip, because I haven't leveled up this unit yet, but I will go to the top line, and if you're interested in the result, give me a comment and a bit of time. The next unit are the Rattan Pikemen, new pikes with the ability to poison enemy soldiers up to 3 times, which will also slow the affected units. Great for delaying enemy units and possibly killing them on the long run. Overall, I cannot recommend the top line in the veterancy for this unit, since it will not become as strong as the pike militia anyway, and poisoning is pretty much the point of having this unit in the first place. This unit also has the Rattan armor trait, which stands for an increased piercing armor value, but also vulnerability to fire damage. Since this unit lacks of a bracing ability, I cannot reliably tell you when and how to use this unit best. But with 115 leadership costs, it might be worth taking this unit into battle when you have some leadership left over and bring them to defend in a siege and you don't want your best units to get hit by an early trebuchet strike. Let's continue on the unit tree to the Silver era. Here we find the Rattan Vipers, a new archer unit that shoots poison arrows to damage and slow enemy units. This poison effect can stack up to 5 times when unlocked in the veterancy line, opening new opportunities to tear down heavily armored units like Imperial Spears and Iron Reapers. While the stats show the typically high piercing defense for Rattan units, they also seem to have around 200 less armor penetration and around 300 less piercing damage, compared to the incendiary archers and prefecture archers. This gives us a slight hint that the flat damage of an arrow hit will be comparably weak, and that unlocking the bottom line is imperative if we want to maximize the damage output for this unit. Something very nice about this unit is that after unlocking the bottom line elite skill, you have up to 5 more upgrade points available to unlock the top line boosts, so that you can increase the range by 10 meters upon reaching max level with this unit. From what I can say so far, this unit is to be used as a frontline support compared to incendiary archers. However, the Rattan Vipers are to be prioritized when fighting T4 infantry and Iron Reapers, since they are all immune to burning but not immune to poison. The weakness effect can be further increased through the upgrades in the unit tree. I don't know yet if that also increases the poison damage or just the slow. It would be really nice if you could improve the poison damage though. Now we come to the unit that I have been looking forward to the most, the Rattan Marksman, or as you may know them, the Repeater Crossbowmen. This unit uses a crossbow that fires volleys of multiple bolts at once, then has a reload timer before it can shoot again. The veterancy upgrades do not allow for much variation. By level 12, the Rattan Marksmen reach their maximum range of 70. By level 15, your volleys fire an extra bolt, and at maximum level comes the ultimate decision of having a chance to shoot poison bolts or flaming bolts. The obvious answer seems to be poison, right? But let's think about this unit. We have a high piercing defense that is negligible due to the extremely low health pool. We have a decent range, an extremely high fire rate, and very important to mention, at this point is that the crossbow bolts travel faster than arrows shot by archers. Now a little spoiler from me, the new Rattan Rangers unit, which is the new T5 crossbow cavalry rider unit, is vulnerable to fire. Is a fast cavalry unit with an incredible high defense against piercing damage, like all the Rattan units, and with a base speed of 10.0. Faster than any other T5 cavalry. It is difficult to catch such a cavalry unit with another cavalry unit. So when you're looking for a threat to scare off the Rattan Rangers, you need flaming arrow units. The archer units which are capable of shooting flaming arrows are the Iron Cap archers, which have a really low range. The prefecture archers who only have a chance of shooting flaming arrows while using arrow rain, and the incendiary archers which have a 60-second cooldown after using their ability. So it's fair to say that none of these units pose a real threat to the Rattan Rangers. As I already said, archer arrows travel slower than crossbow bolts. So I guess by this time you can figure out what final veterancy point I will choose. The chance to shoot flaming bolts, of course. Not only do I see this to be the best possible counter for the Rattan Rangers, but also considering our usual targets with this unit, we will not focus heavy infantry, since the weak armor penetration value will not help us to do the necessary damage when facing heavy infantry. So if you face heavy infantry and want to attack them, take the Demesne Arbalists, or the Rattan Vipers, or simply Arquebusiers, not the Rattan Marksmen. Especially the Rattan Vipers would be better for this job. Not only since their higher range lets them attack from a safe distance, and their slower projectile speed is not as crucial when fighting sluggish heavy units, but also because their poison effect stacks up to 5 times. By default, as far as I know, it doesn't stack. So only one poison effect will be triggered with the marksman at once, sometimes. Which means if you unlock the poison bolts for your Rattan marksman, basically what you will have is a glorified version of the premium archers. But what units are we fighting when there are no Rattan Rangers around? Enemy ranged units, of course, especially Rattan units, shooting multiple shots per volley, each of them having the chance to burn our target, might let us melt enemy archers and crossbowmen within seconds, so that after shooting one volley, we might go back and hide. Yes, shooting from range with limited range will not always be an option with this unit. But before you go roaming the besieged city, all alone by yourself, just take another unit, I suggest. If you think I'm batshit crazy and a mad lad, just leave me a comment and I will upload a video of the flaming bolts successfully used in battle as soon as possible. There are already people roaming the field battles with the new cavalry unit anyway. Last but not least, we have the Rattan Rangers, the new T5 cavalry that I already talked about a lot in this video. There's really not much to say. After you grinded 114,610 honor, you get to play the new Golden Era Cav. They have repeater crossbows, they are extremely mobile and can be a serious threat to any type of units. On top of that, they get a charge just in case all of that wasn't enough to please your needs. The stats on defense are pretty good considering the mobility of this unit. The base damage is low, but the high fire rate through volleys make up for that pretty well. Maximum level is 30, which leaves us with 29 upgrade points and 30 different upgrades to unlock. So you must choose between taking a 20% damage reduction against ranged attacks or a 9 seconds reduced charge cooldown. I hope I made it clear by now that your nemesis when playing this unit will be ranged units. Not cavalry. Not infantry, you just outrun them 9 times out of 10. So please don't be a fool and take the 20% damage reduction from incoming ranged attacks here. It's a very simple choice. So those are the new units. Please leave me your questions in the comments. Any feedback and support is highly appreciated. I actually put a lot of work into this video, so why don't you pay me back with a like and a subscription to my channel? It's absolutely free. And if you enjoy my content and have some spare cash, you can support me by doing yourself a favor and purchase any pack from loot.my.com using the code RAZ. R-A-Z. Just these 3 letters to keep it as short as possible, just like most of my explanations. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.